This week's vlog is definitely a bit of a catch-up.
Yeah, I feel like I'm back now.
With a little bit of this.
Broken or repurposed sterling silver. Some great pieces. Sometimes they come in bags.
A little bit of that.
But then I test everything. So this is what you would test. This is the Presidium. I also test all the silver and the gold.
And a little bit of the other.
Really hammering the rocks over there, these waves. A lot of manifesting. Hi everyone. Oh, it's so lovely to be back at my bench. I've turned the camera on, I've got you, I've got my cup of tea, I've got my braiding. Yeah, I feel like I'm back now. It's been a while and nothing's ever the same after losing someone, and I've been walking the beaches and finding myself. I did do a little video called Whispering in the Wind, and Kerry was my... Gosh, that's hot. Ooh. Can't do sippy sips today, that is really hot. Kerry was, I consider her my sister. We were very close. We were actually cousins, so we've been in each other's lives over 50 years, and we shared so much. And it's been really difficult time as it is. And I just felt like I needed that little bit of time out just to you know, ponder things and regroup really. And during that time, walking the beaches was a huge thing. And as I said, I did a little video called Whispering of the Waves, and that really helped me sort of focus on things, because I think, you know, oh, these beautiful scents, these smells come, and these really, the music, it all evokes great memories, and for that I'm really grateful. It's like quite comforting to know that they are still with us, they are still around us. Gosh, this studio is quite hot today, so you'll have to excuse me. So yeah, so what else have I been getting up to? Well, after walking the beaches for quite some time, I started to feel I wanted to just make, really, just make. And I found an old treasure box. It's a big box full of vintage and antique jewellery, which I've had for years. I used to have a little stall many years ago. I'm talking 15 odd years ago. I had a little stall in a market, a little country market called Abergavenny, and in that stall I used to make all and recraft all the vintage jewellery. That's how I got started with jewellery making. And so in this time of sort of reflection, I found the treasure trove of antiques and past jewellery that needed a little bit of tender loving care. So that's what I've been doing. I've been recrafting some beautiful pieces, and today I started braiding again, and I thought, you know what, just turn on the camera and, you know, share everything. I think you'll really enjoy the vintage pieces in particular. Hopefully I can get one started today, because they do take a while to do. I do them with a lot of love and things. And because this is sort of all silver smithing really in this sort of area, and I have got a little area where I paint. Oh, painting's been a great therapy. I love a bit of painting. But the antique and the vintage jewellery was taking up a lot of room, so I've acquired a little space in the living room. Yeah, I'm quite lucky that Andrew's, yeah, he's quite relaxed about things. So yeah, why don't I show it to you now? I'm just gonna have a sip of tea if it's not too hot. Oh gosh, yeah, Still too hot for sippy sips. So let's go and have a look in the room and see what I've set up there. Come on. So just behind the settee in the corner of the room, I've set up this little area, an area where I've got some drawers to all the jewellery making stuff for recrafting vintage and antique jewellery, cleaning, things like that. Then over there I've got a bust to help me, and a table, a desk, which I've painted up with some display cabinets and things that will become useful. Then behind the settee, then I have got this desk and lots of things on the desk, like to research pieces. And I've also got a tester there, a gemstone tester called Presidium. So yeah, we'll have great fun going through that as well. Some research I'm looking at the moment. So it's really sparked an interest in me. There's one of the pieces I've come across so far. Beautiful piece. And there's the actual chest that came out of the garage that passed me, put in the garage. So if I just pull that out a minute. And there you go. I mean, the trunk itself is a little bit battered. It's been in the garage for at least 10 years, hiding away all these treasures. But yeah, I'm so excited to find them. Got some pieces that I've dug out. What have we got? These ones are Liberties of London. These I think are Chanel, but they're being researched at the moment. And some other bits and pieces there. And yeah, I got a piece there. That's a beautiful piece. And look at the back on this as well. Look at the actual gemstones on the back there. I mean, it's a beautiful condition. So that needs some TLC in some places. And then I've got an old tree. So can you remember, I don't know if you've been watching, at Christmas time I knitted this tree, and it was so I could do the challenge over Christmas, which was like an Advent challenge. It was actually about tea and things like that, and I thoroughly enjoyed knitting the tree. And what I use it for now is like all the odd earrings that I'm finding, I'm popping on the tree, and then hopefully I can sort of match them up as I go. And you know, hopefully, I say hopefully because some of them maybe of course in the bags that I did send to charity, but they're on there ready and waiting for their pals, for their little friends. So that's where we're at. And I'm just glad that I've got a very patient and understanding husband that doesn't really mind as long as I'm happy. And he doesn't mind that I've taken over another room in the house. So there we go. Let's pop now into the studio. Before we go any further, I've got to say, this is a few days later. So after I came out to the studio, there was a knock at the door and Ben and Ella were there. So yeah, we had visitors, which is lovely because we don't get many. So I'm back in the studio now, and what I've done is brought in selections of things that, you know, to look out for. Now my biggest thing at the moment is a collection of broken or repurposed sterling silver. There's quite a bit on the market at the moment, and it's selling for its weight, which means that, you know, we can buy into that. And as jewellers, we can accomplish many things. So that's what I'm doing. So I've taken out a lot of the sterling silver. Also, the other thing that I have is bags of, again, broken jewellery that's, oh gosh, they've been in that chest for about 20 years, some of it. But I have started to look at the auctions and buy some more as well. So it's been really exciting just to open up what I can do with all this. And I haven't lost sight of my own jewellery collections. Absolutely love making. It's just that sometimes we need a little break from that. And what I'm finding, especially with the vintage style jewellery, is that it's you can practice on it, you know, especially with the silver jewellery pieces. Some are very vintage and I would just give them a little polish, but some are, you know, only about 10-20 years old, and so we can play with them and practice, and I found a few little tips and hacks as well, so I'm hoping to share that with you. Let me get you down on the table and let's have a little shufti of what type of things that I have. So these are typically the type of things that you get. One of my absolute favourite pieces is this one. It's Victorian. It's got an articulated wings and it's absolutely stunning. It came with a bracelet as well. But I have had this for a long time now. But there are lots of different things that come. Sometimes you can buy them as broken jewellery or silver. Sometimes you get a sterling silver bundle. Normally you would pay, if it's silver, you just pay for the weight, and you get some great pieces. Sometimes they come in bags. So this is a bag of broken jewellery. This particular bag, I believe, is all gemstones, but then I test everything. So this is what you would test. This is the Presidium, and I wouldn't sell anything unless it's been tested, and that is actually one of the best machines I've ever had. I also test all the silver and the gold using the touchstone method, and I find this very accurate. So all this you see here, except for the Victorian pieces, will be tested. I'll have to do a little video on testing. I think that'd be great. Sometimes the jewellery comes in jewellery boxes. That's how I used to buy them, in like really old Victorian jewellery boxes, and it'd be full. But this is more, it's still vintage, but it's a more modern. And I think that for the next vlog, I'll unbox those. I think that'll be quite interesting, and maybe I'll show you how I do the testing and what to look for. And also testing gemstones. I think even as a jeweller, I think you should need to know how to test gemstones and how to test silver, because where you buy it from also, if you're buying silver to make your own jewellery, you know, it does vary a lot as well. So that's really, really good to know. So I've already put together a tub of silver that has been tested, some vintage silver. There might be one or two of my own in there, I can't remember now. But they're all ready for polishing. So let's go and do a bit of polishing. So this is actually a new polisher. I got this one from Jewellery Maker. And to be honest, I wish I bought it in the first place. I did buy a cheaper one, but the motor went very quickly. And already I can find and see the difference that this polishing machine has made. And yeah, I mean, you think you're cutting corners by saving some money, but actually you never are you? And these are all the pieces. Some are my own that I've made, and some are for the vintage shop as well, for the antique centre. So I'll just clean up a few of those. If I can find the other one, see if we can see the difference. Yeah, you can see the difference. Well, I can hear, I don't know if you can on the screen. That one's now coming up quite nice. Probably needs a little bit more around there. And that one's quite dull, so we'll just keep going a second. Okay, don't want to over clean them. You could put them in a silver dip if you wanted a real clean silver. But especially for the antique shops, you know, it does look like it is too new. So I do a sort of a happy medium and just do a little bit. So in the back of the studio is where I've put some pieces that have just come off the polisher. So these are all vintage jewellery. So we've got some lovely earrings, and they've most of them have had something done to them, whether it's new ear wires, a polish, a shine, or complete new studs. There's always something to do with the vintage jewellery. And there's another piece down here as well, which I've completed. And yeah, so that's the type of vintage that's going into the display. Lots more to do. So I intended for this vlog to be all about sea glass hunting and really enjoying, you know, wandering along the beach and collecting the sea glass and making some jewellery. But the weather had other ideas, and yeah, this is what it looked like. So we're just walking down onto Coppet Hall Beach. It's been a real night of storms. We walked down down by the sea. Gosh, I can barely hold my little camera. It's so windy down here. Ooh. Just coming down those steps. Yeah, we're getting the wind sweeping all the sand along. It's like little sand dancing going on. We walk down to the water's edge. I'm not expecting to find anything other than big waves today, because everything's just covered. All the shingle and shale, it's just a few pebbles on the top. So it would be very, very rare to find anything in these conditions. But you know, you never know. I'm just fascinated by the real strength of the sea today. Those waves, gosh. Not sure if you can hear that. We've got heavy cloud and rain, fog, black sky to the left, and then to the right, the sun's coming out. So the sun is currently over Saundersfoot Beach. Amroth and Wiseman's looks pretty grim over there. Gosh, these waves. I'm not sure how they're being captured on the camera, but well, they are big and mighty, and just like we like them. Feel that energy. Big ones today, love.
Yeah.
He's having trouble with his hat, so Andrew's just sorting out that. But it's so windy, if you're wearing a hat, it's got to be pretty tight to your head. But it's nice just to come down, even if I'm not sea glass hunting. There's the landfills. I don't know if you can see the swirling sand. Not sure if that's been captured. But that's where the landslides on this side have been happening, on Coppet Hall side, just above the tunnel there. Hold on to your hats. Hats and cameras, I think it is today. Woo! Everything's just skipping along the sand. Seagulls have got it right because they're not out today. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Did we catch that? I'm not sure. That wave. Wow. Wow, these are big, big waves today. Not sure the camera's doing them justice, but wow. The noise is spectacular. I'm being blown away! Oh wow. It's starting to rain as well now. That rain that was in the distance there has met us now. Gosh. He's really hammering the rocks over there, these waves. Starting to rain, but and I'm gonna get caught by the tide. Gosh, but it's so rejuvenating. Ooh, I'm gonna get wet. It's coming in really quickly now. It's getting pretty crazy out here. It's taking my breath away. And I haven't said this for ages, but Helen, it's back to you in the studio. So you can see how crazy it is down in Saundersfoot. So I haven't been doing much sea glass hunting lately. In fact, that we normally spend most of the year down in Saundersfoot and only coming home like a few weeks of the year, and usually around end of December, January. We come home then for a few months for the winter. But this year has been rather different. The weather's been crazy. We've had lots happening in the family, and still things are, going on in the family as well. So it means that we need to be here more. So we were doing a week down in Saundersfoot and a week back here home. But the weather is just so atrocious. We've had lots of flooding in Saundersfoot. We've had as we are filming now, there's been flooding of a restaurant, I think 2 restaurants, and they're sort of knee deep in water. The roads are flooded. Most of the beach on Coppet Hall looked rather washed away. The walk to Wiseman's, and where I normally do my sea glass, they've had a collapse. It did say a road collapse, but it's sort of on the edge of a road. It's where people park up, basically, with their camper vans and things. That's all collapsed. So far, crossed fingers, the coastal path seems to still be open, because the last 2 years we've had landslips along the coastal path, and that has, sort of shut us off a bit. But at the time of filming, the coastal path is open, but we still feel that we've done the right thing in coming home. And it does mean I get more studio time, because my studio is home. It isn't in Saundersfoot yet. I say yet because, Andrew's approaching retirement, and of course that's where we'll be permanently. But for now, I'm really enjoying having like the yin and the yang, being down by the beach as much as I possibly want to be, and then studio time back home. So that's how it's working out at the moment. This year, as I say, has been a lot more chaotic and a lot more difficult than any other year I've known. But you know, we get through it, don't we? And we get through these things by any means possible. And one of the things that has really helped me is that I did this course with Colette Baron Reid, and it's called The Art of Manifesting. And it's really, I think, is it called neuroscience? Anyway, it's about drawing, but and painting and art, but through neurology, is it called? Harnesses the extraordinary power of intentional art with the art of manifesting method to rewire your brain, break all patterns and align your mind and intentions. Now, I'm a huge manifester anyway, but I was really intrigued by this, and what I realised is that actually I could use it as a therapy to get through life, really. So if you're sort of at a short end, or you are into manifesting like myself and you just want to know what's going on out there, this is the latest sort of version of about connecting with your desires, with your dreams. But I also think that it can be used in the ways of therapy, and I'm sure that it is, and I think that they do touch upon that, and I found that the therapy side of it much more helpful at this time that, you know, we've been going through. So yeah, so if you're interested in anything like that, it's called The Art of Manifesting, and it's just been a real eye-opener and just something a little bit different. I mean, my own jewellery is very intentional anyway, so it all ties in, you know, with the jewellery, even with the vintage, everything sort of ties in. But I'm hoping to get back to more sea glass hunting, because once the storms do die down, it is actually the best time to try and get on the beaches. I don't know if I'll be able to film anything, it depends on the weather, but you know, I'm hoping to do that in the next couple of weeks. But for now, we're home, we're cosy, we're warm, and I've got lots of studio time, which is great. And as always, please go out there and create the life you love. Many blessings.